Hello guys, today I will continue about the using the attributes to sending and control the routes. How can we send it inside the one AS or from another AS to other AS? In previous video, I show you inside in local AS. You can, for example, here R8 we get the route of 992 from R7 and R6, but BGP is not normally do the default is not doing the load balancing, so just send from one of them. And when we get the show IP BGP, for example, then you saw that the route comes from this side. Now we decide to be do something on R8 to make the R7 be winner for getting the route from the other side. So we want to do like a traffic engineering. So I changed the weight in R8 for R7 to the neighbor of R7 and change it to higher weight. So the route of 992 go through R7 to R8 instead of R6 to R8. And after that I show you if in the local you want choose for example you have two border router and you want to the R6 is the winner that send the route in 992 to AS 15000, but you want to be R7 be the winner instead of R6, so we change the local preference inside R7, make it higher, and the R7 will be winner, and this route goes through R7 to R8. Now today I want to talk about some other attribute. Here is our service provider, here is our organization, is my AS, and the service provider says that we don't do any configuration, we don't do any policy for you, you do the policy by yourself. So here we want to do some policy from my AS that send and change. For example, if we go through R8 and get a show IP BGP, let's see, 992 goes through 192.168.10.1 from this way. It choose by this way. It means that 10.1 is here in this interface, and 10.5 is the interface here. It is 10.1 and 10.5. And if you check, you will see that use the best, because here choose the best and valid way from here, this interface, and says that you are the best, and the other one is like a backup remain and no traffic go through that. Okay, we want to decide, for example, if we advertise the 992 in our AS, instead of R6 that choose the best, we send it through R7. It goes through R7, and from 10.5 R8 get this route. So we want to change the traffic from instead of R6 goes through R7. The way that I do it, just a moment, I will try to advertise from R4 to R6 and R5 to R6. If you check it, you will see here we have in R8 we have one attribute is AS path. In AS path, when the AS path is longer, then it will not choose, and the shorter AS path will be choose. Here I want to advertise from R4 and R5, and says that instead of 1 times 65,500, advertise 3 times 65,500. So when make it this AS path longer, and here R7 is just 1 65,500. So this AS path will be shorter, this AS path will be longer, and R7 will be winner. So by this way, from my AS, I advertise to my service provider and says that, okay, for sending this route, choose R7. How can I do it? I will show you. I will go in R4. I go in configuration. I start to write a prefix list, uh, IP prefix list. I put the name AS and says permit 9992/32. We want just talk about this route, and after that I route a route map. I put the name of the route map and says that, okay, if you see this prefix IP address prefix list with the name of AS, when it is matched, you go and set the AS path and says prepend. So now I prepend 3 times this path. Okay, so says that anytime you see 992, set the AS 65,500, and I go in R4, says that anytime you send advertise for R6, run this route map for this neighbor. So here the AS path will be 3 times 65,500, but here it will be just 1 time. I will show you. If I get show IP BGP summary from R4 to see the neighbor, show, oh sorry, we are in config mode, so I add a do. Okay, so the neighbor of R4 to R6 is 332. I go in router BGP 65,500, address family IPv4, and says, okay, for neighbor 332, run the route map. What was the name of a route map? AS. We send the route of 992 from R4 to R6. So we send out, because in R4 the route goes out. So I choose out. Okay, that's it. Also, I can do it in R5. Somehow when we advertise like this, then R7 will be winner, but I do in R5 also. I'm going in conf t IP prefix list AS permit 9992. Oh, sorry, /32. Then I write a route map, the name AS. I says if match with this IP address prefix list of with the name of AS must be capital, same as the name. When we choose the name, same, we must add it here and say that, okay, come and set AS path prepend, so 3 times 65,500, 65,500. Okay, now I am going in router BGP 65,500. Let's see the neighbors BGP summary. I get the BGP summary, show you the neighbor or R5. It is 334. This is the neighbor that from R5 connect to R6. So I go in address family IPv4 and says that neighbor 334 route map. What's the name of the route map? AS, and says that the side of outside. So now in R5 and R4 advertise the 992 with 3 times 65,500, and then by this way if we check the R8 here, instead of 10.1 is the best, it must choose 10.5 and remove the 10.1 from the route. So I do just one time clear IPGP to update the advertising. IPGP star soft. Here also I do clear IPBGP star soft. Okay. Now let's get the show IPBGP in R8. Okay, in R8 I get the show IPBGP, and you see now the winner is 192.168.10.5, and remove the 10.1. The winner was 10.1, but now it is just only the winner is 10.5. So here you can see the difference, because in R6, let me open R6, and here if you check, now R6 is not the winner, and show IP BGP. You can see that here we advertise 3 times 65,500 and plus the advertise that on router send. So 4 times 65,500 you can see in the advertising, and by this way this is longer, but in R7 it is shorter AS path. I show you, show IP BGP, and R7 has a shorter AS path. It is just one time 5 times 65,500. So the winner will be R7. Now I remove all the configuration again from the routers. I go in config, says that no IP prefix list AS, no route map AS. Also I go in router BGP 65,500 address family IPv4, and says no. I remove the neighbor. Okay. For R5 also same. I remove all the configuration that I did it. IP prefix list AS. I add no. First, no route map AS. Also in router BGP 65,500 address family IPv4, no So now I remove all the configuration. I do a clear BGP here also. I do a clear IP BGP, and again the route in R8 will be back to the same before configuration. It will be like this. Let's check. Show IP BGP. Yeah, you can see again came back same way as before. Okay, now I want to show you something else. If you check these two, you will see we have another attribute. It is metric. If you check it, it shows the metric 20. When we redistribute any route inside the BGP, the metric is 20. So in R7 and R6, both the metric that advertising by these routes, R4 and R5, the metric is 20. In metric, it's same as OSPF. The lower metric is winner. So, for example, here I will come and change this metric. Instead of 20, I make it 5. So this way will be the winner for the traffic of the 992. Let's do it. I do it in R4 here. So I am going in configuration. Again, I write the IP prefix list. I put the name met as a metric and says that the permit 9992/32, and I write the roadmap. So I put the name of the roadmap, also metric. I put the prefixes and the roadmap same, but it's not necessary. You can write any IP prefix in name, and here the roadmap can be any other name, no matter. So I say that if this prefix list match with the IP prefix list, the name metric, then you set metric. I set it 5, make it lower. So if I want R7 be winner from R4, says that for the neighbor of R7, send the metric of 5. For R6, same as before, the metric is 20. So the metric for the route 992 that advertised to R7 is lower, and R7 will be the best way for transferring the route of 992. Okay, so I will go out. One more time, I get the show IP BGP summary to check R4 to R7 3352. This is the neighbor in R7. So from R4 we advertise lower metric. In previous in ASPAT we advertised the longer ASPAT in R6. So it was here longer, here ASPAT shorter, R7B. And now by the metric we want advertise lower metric R7B winner, and a longer metric will be loose. I go in router BGP 65,500 in address family IPv4, and say that neighbor, this neighbor 3352 with the roadmap met. If this roadmap here also from R4 advertise 992 to R7. So in R4 goes out. So I choose out. That's it. Then I will go and do a clear IP BGP. Uh, I think that no need to go in R5 again to set same policy for R5 is enough, I think. And let's check. Now I get the show IP BGP and you see 992.10.5 is winner and the metric is 5. Before it was two-way, the winner was 10-1. Here the best with the metric of 20. So I change the metric for R7 and make it 5 and the winner is now this router, not this. Uh, I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. It's I hope all this information be helpful and useful for you. Have a nice day and bye.